Hello people, welcome to my channel. My name is Hilary and today I will be continuing with vlog 7. Today is actually my birthday. I'm turning 31, so quite exciting, but also I celebrated mostly my birthday with my family and my friends on the weekends, so I don't expect anything much to happen. We have some cake left over for me and my husband, and we'll probably keep continuing watching the Chernobyl TV series, so I don't think I mentioned that today is 5th of April, so we're starting a little bit late, but the first couple of days I actually started and finished the Monstress volume comics. So I don't have the first two because I already gave them to my friend to read, and I read all of it. The first 3 volumes were for the Orillium spring Equinox exams, and I absolutely loved this whole series. Also, the cliffhanger on the end of the 6th volume killed me. Maybe I saw it a little bit coming, but honestly, it was such a betrayal, and I can't forgive that under no consequences. I didn't like the character who betrayed our main character anyways, but that betrayal just killed me. Also, the last one, 6th one, has 2 short stories that are within this correct timeline, but they don't impact a lot of the story, so we just see a little bit more of Kippa and Micah, the main characters' background, and they were such a beautiful, heartwarming, and also heartbreaking stories, and I don't know why Major Elio makes this to us. On a happier note, each year one of the volumes has come out, so I'm hoping the 7th one will be coming at some point this year. And also from both Major Liu and Sana Takeda, there comes another new sci-fi in November, so I'm really excited about that also, although I did read the synopsis and I can't remember anything. I think it was a sci-fi story. But yeah, definitely recommend it. It is a fantasy, completely new world with it was once upon a time really high-tech, but the Shaman Empress, who came out with a lot of technology, decided that maybe the world isn't such a good place and locked them away, so they had some leftover like guns and airships and everything else, but also they don't have a lot. There's also the Arcanix that I don't think there are any of the covers. Which are basically different kind of magical creatures. Some look more human, some look more like animals, who are fighting with humans, especially the witches who use magical substance that comes from the arcanic bones and their bodies, and they weaponize that. So it's very brutal, very political, surprisingly political. And also we have the main character Micah, who was in Constantinople, that was previously a war camp, but it got blown up to pieces. Nobody knows what did it, and she is feeling this endless, relentless hunger, and she doesn't remember all of her past, so she is just trying to figure out what is going on. And my favorite, it's my favorite. So I read all of these. Then I have technically 2 more story books that I haven't finished from March. One is Malice by Heather Walters, and that is in an audiobook format. And then on my Kindle, Malice is a Sleeping Beauty retelling that I should be finishing. And then we have Black Lies by Alessandra Torre. So I started with Alessandra Torre with Ghostwriter, and that was a mystery thriller, I think. Then I figured out that she's a contemporary erotic writer, so I read Love in Lingerie, absolutely loved it. I read a couple of more of her, and I didn't like it so much. But I do want to finish 2 more books from her just to figure it out, and I picked Black Lies. I thought that it was a contemporary erotica about a female that bangs a really and lives together with a really smart, rich IT dude, and also is trying to bang the ball boy. And honestly, the descriptions of sex are not that good. Love in the Ranger, absolutely best book ever. This, oh, cringeworthy. Like, last night I read it and we had a weird sentence that she went to bed and her feet smelled like cucumber. Why? How is that connecting everything? What is going on? So I'm just trying to get through it, and then we got to know that the first dude, the IT dude, has a secret, and I'm like, okay. And we get some hints about some females that have died around him, and I'm like, is he a secret closet like murderer, serial killer? Don't know yet. Then we figured out that the main character is a psychopath, which I did not like expect, because I didn't expect it to be a mystery thrillery kind of book. I thought it was just pure smut. So yes, I want to finish those two, and then I can go to my actual April TBR. I have 3 quite short stories on my April TBR: To Kill a Mockingbird, Dowry of Blood, and Yellow Wallpaper. So I thought maybe I'll knock those out first. But I do have 2 chunkers: The Eye of the World, book 1 of Wheel of Times, and rereading Member Lestat, so maybe I need something in between, so we'll see. I think I'm gonna just pick up whatever I fancy. Today is Wednesday, the 6th of April, and yesterday I finished Black Lies by Alessandra Torre, and honestly, I debated so long what star rating to give it. As I said before, I thought it was contemporary romance, but it's more of a romance story with mystery or thriller part or something like that. So what can I tell you about the female character? Was a psychopath. There was a connection between the two characters, and there was a thing going on with the missing woman from the first man's past. So so for the smart part, it wasn't written very well. The turns, I did a bit saw them coming, but not exactly also. But honestly, I didn't enjoy it that much, especially since I went in to read one sort of book and got it the mystery thriller out of it. So I don't know. I gave it 2.5 stars, so it's more reflecting on my disappointment, and also it wasn't written as well as some of her other books, for example, Ghostwriter for mystery thriller and Love in Lingerie for the smart part. So yeah, I also yesterday started and finished the yellow wallpaper, and I think that fitted my Orillium for the under 100 pages book, so it was 63 pages, and I think it's classified somewhat of a horror story. I wouldn't particularly say that, but also it's kind of hard to classify it. I would say it's kind of non-fiction because it's her own experience and so on, but also it is a little bit fiction because she didn't have all those experiences. So many souls. What is this book about? Maybe you have heard of. I think Murphy Napier made it more talked about in the book Duke Community. And it's about 1800s, where a female who is suffering of depression and maybe something else goes with her husband to a countryside, and then she's in a room with a really weird yellow wallpaper, and she tries to, she's just spending time there because everybody else says that just be and do. It's not, you're not actually, well, you're not medically insane, but everybody is just like, there's nothing wrong with you, just do your thing. Writing is bad for you, and so on. So it was very well written. There were a lot of words that I didn't know, so it might be, although I gave it 4 stars, there were a lot of words that I've never heard of, so, but that happens when the books are quite old in English. And I quite enjoyed, especially the writing of the depression parts and her not managing to do anything, and I think it's a very good description of that. And I think the book did what it was supposed to do, to show that these kinds of problems are real during that time, because most people during that time, the doctors didn't always take the females' opinions into account, or saying, or who were going with the treatments and everything else. So it was quite good. What I'm picking up next, I have no idea, but I think I have a couple of more short books to go through, so maybe those. I also should finish Malice on my audiobook. Maybe I'm picking up Vampireless. I don't know. I'll see what I'm feeling. And the outside weather is horrible. We have a couple of centimeters of snow, snowstorms, but also sun. So it's very changing weather. It's cold, it's windy, it's rainy, it's snowing. It's disgusting. I think April should be like warmer month, not like winter. So yeah, we'll see. So I know I haven't been here in some time. I don't know where I last time was, but I did start The Wheel of Time, to book one, The Eye of the World, and I did read about 200 pages on the weekend. I'm quite enjoying it, although I have been taking a little bit of break of this book because of health reasons. The medicine I'm taking is making me really, really tired, and that's why I haven't read this on, because honestly, reading takes a lot of effort. But I'm really quite enjoying it, although I do think that have been watching the TV show before, I appreciate this book and enjoy it a lot more because it's slow. It's really, really slow. For example, at the beginning, when they all leave the hometown, it took them 150 pages. And there's a lot of descriptions. And you can see that he was very much inspired by Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, although the descriptions aren't that in-depth. I have read Fellowship of the Ring, I think like half the book or something like that. You could cut out a lot. I do appreciate some details, but also you could cut out a lot. I do like that there's maps and there are additional, like there's the big map, and then there's the additional maps where they are at that moment, and you can follow around. And there are apparently 3 different maps in this book, at least as far as I could see. So that's good to have. I love my maps. Also, what I wanted to tell is that I also see where other people have been inspired by this book. Especially it reminds me of Eragon, because basically the 200-page part that I have been reading and leaving the town and everything else, it's one-to-one copy. But with Eragon we have, since it is YA, I think, there is even less of descriptions and it's much easier to read. So this is fun to read, actually, surprisingly. And after that I started with Stage Time series by Kylie Scott. So there is 4 books, and we have, in each of the books we have one of the Stage Times fans members and finding the love of his life, and it's surprisingly good. The first book is about guitar player. Honestly, I know nothing about band members, and he gets drunkenly married to a girl in Las Vegas, and then they are trying to make things work or not, so that's really nice. And then we have and they're all from girls' point of view, not too smutty, but smutty enough, and pretty decent plot. Then in the second book we had Drummer, and he is basically having a fake girlfriend that turns out to be a real actual girlfriend. And then the third one is about the lead singer. He has had problems with addiction and everything else, and he's now abstaining from all of that. And his personal assistant, who is also kind of his nanny of sorts, where she has to make certain that he doesn't do drugs, drink alcohol, and behaves. And the fourth one is about their bass player, right? I have no idea. I haven't read the fourth one. And he gets a girl pregnant by accident, I think, are the premises. So they're really fun. I enjoy reading and listening. I'm audiobooking it, and I really, really enjoy it. I do have to say, I actually read one more book, Heart of Darkness, I think it was called, by Laura Kaye, and it was a really short novella. It has a second book also, where the main girl is having a really shitty day, goes to an elevator to go to her work, and then the power goes out, and they spend, I don't know, the next 7 hours or so, 5-7 hours in the pitch black elevator with a very handsome firefighter, and they get to talking and find they have a lot of in common and things evolve. So it was decent, but I really like Stage Dive series so much more. So I think my next plans are to finish the Stage Dive book and then get on with this one. And I did change a little bit of my Orillium prompts for some of the books that I have already read, mainly the Heart of Darkness and Stage Dive books. So this is just making certain that whatever fitted where that I have everything fulfilled by the end of April, because I have been allowing myself to read what I want because it's April and it's my birthday month. So I think I covered what I had to read was Dowry of Blood for romance, but I have covered that, I think, and then I have Intimidating Read, and I'm still pretty sure that I can finish this by the end of the month. And basically that's it. So I'll see you at some point when I've read, I don't know, something else. And I'm here to finish off the vlog. I'm still reading Wheel of Time. I haven't gotten much further. I'm 300 pages in, so I'm enjoying it, but I haven't read in a couple of days, so life has been busy. But I started to edit this blog, and what I noticed was that I haven't mentioned one book that I read, and that was a companion novella to the Lux series. The first one is called Shadows, and I picked it up because of Orillium Spring Equinox. And if I tell you that this is basically Twilight with not vampires, aliens, I think I'm correct. I don't know the series itself because I started with 0.5 book, but it gave me such Twilight nostalgic feels. I'm going to read you one sentence that was in the book, and it said, his pupils are white, he's really fast, his friends can melt ping pong balls. It gave me the Twilight part where Bella said like the 3 lines that are most famous and I can't remember right now. So yeah, and it was fun, nostalgic, as I said, not a good book in any reason, but enjoyable one. Also, I caught one question that I need answers from Americans, and in that book, they play ping pong, yes, in their gym classes, during their gym classes. And yeah, I know we played it during the recess times, but during the gym classes, is that the normal thing that you do? Also, what I wanted to mention about this book, I made notes, was that it also brought, for some reason, some nostalgic memories when I started dating my husband. So I probably gave it too many stars. I can't even remember what I gave it, but I'm quite interested in following that series up at some point. But I think that's about it for now. Enjoy the melting, burning bunny in my next clip that I filmed specially for you. And enjoy the rest of April.